Welcome, wanderers of the dark and seekers of the unknown, to Whispers on the Asphalt, your go-to channel for spine-tingling tales and haunted histories. Here, we explore the eerie corners of the world where shadows stretch longer than they should and the hum of tires on pavement is often accompanied by whispers from beyond. Today, we embark on a chilling journey along some of the most haunted highways in the Pacific Northwest, a region renowned for its breathtaking landscapes, dense forests, and a rich tapestry of folklore that blurs the line between myth and reality. The Pacific Northwest, with its mist-shrouded mountains, winding coastal roads, and endless stretches of wilderness, has long been a breeding ground for ghostly legends and unexplained phenomena. These highways, carved through rugged terrain and steeped in history, are more than mere conduits for travel. They are corridors of mystery, where the past lingers like fog over a moonlit lake. From spectral hitchhikers to phantom vehicles, from cursed landmarks to blood-soaked stretches of asphalt, these roads hold secrets that defy explanation and challenge the boundaries of belief. In this two-part series, we will peel back the layers of the supernatural, revealing the haunting stories behind the region's most infamous routes. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your courage tested as we delve into the unknown. So buckle up, keep your headlights on, and join us as we navigate the shadowy highways of the Pacific Northwest. Let the journey begin. The ghostly tapestry of Florida, a prelude to the paranormal. Florida, a state renowned for its sun-soaked beaches and vibrant nightlife, holds within its sultry embrace a darker, more enigmatic side, a realm where the past refuses to rest quietly. Beneath its glittering surface lies an intricate tapestry woven with tales of tragedy, mystery, and the supernatural. This series delves into the most haunted places in Florida, where whispers of the departed echo through time, inviting both fear and fascination. As we embark on this third installment of our journey, prepare to uncover sites steeped in spectral lore, each with its own chilling narrative that defies the bounds of reality. From the eerie corridors of historic hotels to the shadowy depths of ancient forests, Florida's haunted locales are as diverse as they are terrifying. These are not mere ghost stories whispered around campfires. They are documented phenomena, recounted by countless witnesses who have felt the hair-raising presence of something unseen. Each location carries its unique tale, of love lost and vengeance sought, of lives cut tragically short, and souls yearning for closure. As you delve deeper into these accounts, remember that the line between the living and the dead is often blurred, especially in places where history has left indelible marks. Whether it's the mournful wails of a jilted lover or the phantom footsteps of soldiers long gone, the spirits of Florida refuse to be silenced. They linger in the corners of old mansions, drift through the halls of abandoned asylums, and haunt the very ground upon which battles were fought and lives were lost. In this exploration, we invite you to step beyond the veil of the ordinary, to confront the shadows that dance just out of sight. Are you ready to face the unknown? To hear the stories that chill the spine and quicken the pulse? Then gather close, dear reader, as we venture into the heart of Florida's most haunted places. Here, every creak of a floorboard and flicker of a light might just be a sign that you're not alone. Let us begin our descent into the darkness, where the past and present collide, and the spirits of those who came before beckon us to listen. St. Augustine Lighthouse, beacons of the beyond perch majestically along the rugged coastline of St. Augustine. The iconic lighthouse stands as a sentinel over the restless Atlantic, its beam piercing through the night like a ghostly finger pointing towards the heavens. Built in 1874, this towering structure not only guided mariners safely to shore but also became a stage for one of Florida's most haunting legends. The story begins with two young girls, daughters of the lighthouse keeper, whose playful innocence was tragically cut short on a fateful day in the late 19th century. The tragic incident unfolded when the elder sister, Eliza, dared her younger sibling, Mary, to join her atop the lighthouse's precarious catwalk. In a moment of youthful bravado, Mary accepted the challenge, only to slip from the narrow ledge, plummeting to her death on the rocky terrain below. Eliza, overcome with guilt and grief, reportedly took her own life shortly thereafter, unable to bear the weight of her loss. Their untimely death set the stage for a spectral drama that continues to unfold within the lighthouse's shadowy confines. visitors to the St. Augustine Lighthouse often recount eerie encounters that defy logical explanation. Many speak of hearing the faint giggles of children echoing through the spiral staircase, a chilling reminder of the sisters' eternal playfulness. Others claim to see the apparition of a young girl dressed in Victorian attire, her eyes filled with sorrow, peering down from the lighthouse's upper windows. These sightings are accompanied by inexplicable cold spots and the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes, heightening the atmosphere of unease that permeates the site. Paranormal investigators drawn to the lighthouse have captured compelling evidence supporting these haunting claims. Audio recordings revealed disembodied voices whispering cryptic phrases, while photographs taken inside the structure often feature shadowy figures lurking in the background. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery occurred during a live investigation broadcast online, where viewers witnessed what appeared to be a translucent hand reaching out from the darkness, only to vanish moments later. Despite, or perhaps because of, its reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity, the St. Augustine Lighthouse remains a popular destination for tourists eager to glimpse a piece of Florida's haunted history. Its blend of architectural grandeur and spectral intrigue makes it a magnet for thrill-seekers and history buffs alike. For those brave enough to ascend its winding stairs after dusk, the promise of encountering the spirits of Eliza and Mary offers both terror and fascination. As twilight descends and the lighthouse's beam slices through the encroaching darkness, visitors find themselves caught between worlds, where the boundary between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of tragedy linger just beyond reach. The Carlisle Inn, shadows of yesteryears nestled amidst the serene landscapes of Sarasota, the Carlisle Inn stands as a silent testament to an era long past, its weathered facade whispering secrets of a bygone age. Once a bustling hub for travelers and locals alike, this historic inn opened its doors in the early 20th century, offering respite and reverie to those seeking solace from the world outside. However, beneath its charming exterior lay a tapestry of human drama, interwoven with tales of betrayal, madness, and unexplained disappearances that would forever taint its legacy. The central figure in the Carlisle Inn's haunting narrative is none other than Margaret Halloway, the inn's original proprietress, whose life spiraled into chaos following the mysterious disappearance of her husband, Thomas. A prominent businessman, Thomas vanished without a trace in 1923, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and mounting debts. Desperate to maintain the inn's operations, Margaret delved into increasingly erratic behavior, culminating in accusations of foul play against local rivals. Her mental state deteriorated rapidly, leading to her confinement in an upstairs bedroom, where she spent her final days muttering incoherently about shadows moving in the walls. Since Margaret's passing, guests at the Carlisle Inn have reported unnerving encounters linked to her tormented spirit. Many describe hearing faint scratching sounds emanating from the walls, as though someone, or something, is clawing desperately to escape. Others recount waking up to find their bedsheets tangled and possibly tight around their limbs, as if restrained by invisible hands. The most disturbing accounts come from visitors staying in the room once occupied by Margaret. Shadows flit across the corners of vision, and the acrid smell of burning candles fills the air, evoking the image of a woman pacing anxiously in the dark. Adding to the inn's eerie atmosphere is the recurring appearance of a spectral figure believed to be Thomas himself. Dressed in a formal suit, he is often seen wandering the grounds at dawn, his hollow eyes fixed on some unseen point in the distance. Some guests claim to feel an icy draft pass through them as he drifts by, while others report hearing mournful whispers pleading for justice. In one particularly chilling incident, a couple staying at the inn swore they saw Thomas standing at the foot of their bed, his translucent form illuminated by moonlight. When they attempted to speak to him, he vanished into thin air, leaving behind an oppressive sense of dread. Paranormal investigators who have explored the Carlisle Inn describe it as a veritable hotbed of supernatural activity. EMF detectors routinely spike in certain areas, particularly near Margaret's former bedroom and the garden where Thomas's belongings were last seen. EVP recordings captured during overnight sessions reveal faint voices muttering indistinct phrases, interspersed with anguished cries. One investigator even captured what appears to be a shadowy silhouette moving through the hallway on camera, an image that has since become a staple of online paranormal forums. Despite its unsettling reputation, the Carlisle Inn continues to attract curious travelers eager to experience its macabre charm. Owners make no secret of its haunted history, instead embracing it as part of the property's unique appeal. For those bold enough to book a stay, the promise of encountering Margaret's restless spirit, or perhaps unraveling the mysteries surrounding Thomas's disappearance, proves irresistible. Yet, as each new guest steps across the threshold, they must ask themselves, are they prepared to face the darkness that lingers within these walls, or will they become another chapter in the inn's tragic tale? The Devil's Millhopper. Whispers from the abyss hidden deep within the lush woodlands of Gainesville lies the Devil's Millhopper, a geological marvel steeped in myth and spectral intrigue. This massive sinkhole, shaped like an inverted cone, plunges 120 feet into the earth, its steep limestone walls adorned with cascading waterfalls, verdant ferns, and ancient fossil beds. While its natural beauty draws geologists and nature enthusiasts alike, it is the sinkhole's darker legends that have cemented its place among Florida's most haunted locations. Known locally as a gateway to the underworld, the Devil's Millhopper has been the site of countless eerie encounters, each adding to its sinister reputation. The origins of its haunting lore can be traced back to Native American folklore, where the sinkhole was believed to be a portal to the land of the dead. According to legend, the spirits of those who died unnatural or unjust deaths were said to rise from the depths of the sinkhole, their anguished cries carried upward by the mist that perpetually shrouds its base. Early settlers who ventured too close claimed to hear disembodied voices calling their names, urging them to peer over the edge. Those who did so often returned pale and shaken, swearing they had glimpsed shadowy figures writhing in the darkness below. Modern-day visitors to the Devil's Millhopper continue to report unsettling experiences that defy rational explanation. Many describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread as they descend the wooden staircase that leads into the sinkhole, as though an unseen force is pressing down on them. The air grows colder with each step, and the sound of trickling water takes on an almost hypnotic quality, lulling some into a trance-like state. Others recount seeing fleeting movements in their peripheral vision, shapes darting between the trees or hovering near the waterfalls, only to vanish when directly confronted. One of the most chilling accounts involves a group of hikers who spent the night camping near the rim of the sinkhole in the 1980s. As midnight approached, they were awakened by a cacophony of unearthly noises, guttural growls, high-pitched shrieks, and what sounded like chains rattling against stone. Terrified, they packed up their gear and fled, but not before one member of the group swore he saw a pair of glowing red eyes staring up at him from the abyss. When authorities investigated the site the following morning, they found no evidence of wildlife or human activity capable of producing such sounds, leaving the incident shrouded in mystery. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous expeditions within the Devil's Millhopper, capturing compelling evidence of its supernatural inhabitants. Thermal imaging cameras reveal cold spots concentrated in specific areas, particularly near the base of the sinkhole and along its jagged walls. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, especially during nighttime visits. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery came during a live investigation broadcast online. Viewers watching the feed spotted a translucent figure darting across the screen in real time, prompting widespread speculation about the nature of the entities haunting the site. Adding to its eerie allure is the recurring theme of missing persons associated with the Devil's Millhopper. Over the years, several individuals have vanished without a trace while exploring the area, their disappearances attributed to everything from accidental falls to deliberate acts of malevolence. Locals whisper of a malevolent entity residing within the sinkhole, luring unsuspecting victims to their doom. Skeptics dismiss these claims as urban legends, yet the sheer number of unexplained cases lends credence to the idea that something sinister lurks within its depths. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Devil's Millhopper remains a popular destination for adventurers and thrill-seekers eager to test their courage against the unknown. Its combination of natural splendor and supernatural mystique creates an atmosphere unlike any other, drawing visitors from all walks of life. For those brave enough to descend into its shadowy embrace, the promise of encountering the spirits of the damned, or perhaps peering into the abyss itself, offers both terror and fascination. Yet, as each new explorer steps onto its precipice, they must decide whether they are ready to face the whispers from the abyss, or risk becoming part of its eternal chorus. The Casadaga Hotel. Spirits among the spiritualists tucked away in the quaint town of Casadaga, known as the psychic capital of the world, stands the Casadaga Hotel, a charming yet enigmatic establishment that has earned its place among Florida's most haunted locales. Established in 1927, this hotel was originally designed to cater to visitors of the nearby spiritualist camp, a community dedicated to the study and practice of mediumship and communication with the dead. While its architecture exudes southern charm with wraparound porches and white columns, the energy within its walls tells a far more complex story, one steeped in spiritual turbulence, unresolved grief, and the lingering presence of those who refuse to move on. The Casadaga Hotel's haunted reputation stems largely from its association with the spiritualist movement, which attracts individuals seeking solace, guidance, or closure from the other side. However, not all spirits encountered here are benevolent guides. Many guests and staff members have reported interactions with entities that seem trapped between realms, their energies manifesting in ways both subtle and startling. Among the most frequently mentioned is the spirit of a woman named Evelyn, whose tragic backstory ties directly to the hotel's history. Evelyn, a devoted spiritualist, checked into the hotel during the 1940s after losing her young son to illness. Hoping to reconnect with him through seances held at the nearby camp, she instead succumbed to despair when her attempts failed. It is said that Evelyn took her own life in room 312, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow that continues to resonate through the building. Guests staying in this room often wake up to the sensation of being watched, accompanied by the faint scent of lavender, a fragrance Evelyn reportedly wore daily. Others describe seeing a shadowy figure seated at the foot of their bed, gazing wistfully out the window before vanishing without a trace. Another prominent spectral resident is believed to be Charles Whitman, a former hotel manager whose tenure ended abruptly under suspicious circumstances. Rumors suggest he embezzled funds from the establishment and was discovered by his colleagues, leading to a violent altercation in the basement storage area. Though officially ruled an accident, many suspect foul play. Today, employees tasked with organizing supplies in the basement report hearing heavy footsteps echoing through the space, despite no one else being present. Some claim to see tools moving inexplicably or spot a man in a vintage suit glaring at them before disappearing into thin air. The hotel's dining hall, once a lively gathering spot for guests and locals, has also become a focal point of paranormal activity. Patrons seated near the fireplace often complain of sudden drops in temperature, accompanied by the sensation of icy fingers brushing against their necks. On occasion, dishes have been known to shift positions on their own, and chairs scrape across the floor as if pulled by unseen hands. One particularly chilling account comes from a waitress who swore she felt someone tug sharply on her apron strings while serving tables, only to turn and find the room empty. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Casadaga Hotel remains a beloved destination for tourists eager to immerse themselves in its storied past. Its unique blend of spiritualist tradition and spectral intrigue creates an atmosphere unlike any other, drawing visitors from all over the world. For those brave enough to book a stay, the opportunity to encounter Evelyn, Charles, or one of the countless other spirits said to roam its halls adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Yet, as each new visitor crosses its threshold, they must decide whether they are ready to face the spirits among the spiritualists, and the restless energies they leave behind. The historic Biltmore Hotel. Glamour meets the supernatural nestled in the heart of Coral Gables. The historic Biltmore Hotel stands as a gilded monument to Florida's golden age of luxury and opulence. Opened in 1926, this architectural masterpiece quickly became a playground for the elite, hosting celebrities, politicians, and socialites who reveled in its grand ballrooms, sprawling gardens, and Art Deco elegance. Yet beneath its polished veneer lies a darker narrative, one marked by scandal, tragedy, and whispers of the supernatural. From its infamous swimming pool to its shadowy corridors, the Biltmore's haunted history is as captivating as its storied past. One of the most enduring legends tied to the Biltmore revolves around its iconic pool, often referred to as the most haunted swimming pool in America. During the Roaring Twenties, the pools served as the centerpiece of extravagant parties, where champagne flowed freely and jazz music echoed into the early hours of the morning. However, it was also the site of a harrowing incident in 1930, when a young woman named Virginia Dare mysteriously drowned during one such gathering. Witnesses claimed to see her struggling in the water, yet no one intervened, dismissing her thrashing as part of the revelry. By the time her body was discovered, it was too late. Since then, guests and staff alike have reported eerie occurrences near the pool, from splashing sounds emanating from empty waters to the faint outline of a woman in a vintage swimsuit gliding across the surface. Another spectral figure said to haunt the Biltmore is that of Thomas Fats Walsh, a notorious mobster who met his demise within its walls. Walsh, a well-known associate of Al Capone, was gunned down in room 1215 during a botched deal in the 1940s. His violent death left an indelible mark on the hotel, with many claiming to feel an oppressive weight in the corridor leading to his former room. Housekeeping staff have reported finding bullet casings scattered on the floor, only for them to vanish when inspected further. Some guests staying in room 1215 describe hearing muffled gunshots and guttural shouting, as though the deadly confrontation continues to replay itself in an endless loop. The Biltmore's grand lobby, once a bustling hub of activity, has also become a focal point of paranormal encounters. Visitors seated in the lounge area often describe feeling an inexplicable chill, accompanied by the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. On occasion, patrons swear they see a man in a pinstriped suit leaning casually against the marble columns, his expression one of smug satisfaction. When approached, he vanishes into thin air, leaving behind a faint whiff of cigar smoke, a nod to the hotel's Prohibition-era heyday when clandestine speakeasies operated discreetly beneath its roof. Perhaps the most unsettling presence within the Biltmore belongs to a group of children who reportedly perished in a fire that swept through the hotel's upper floors in the 1950s. Their playful laughter can often be heard echoing through the halls late at night, mingling with the soft patter of tiny feet running across the carpet. Staff members tasked with cleaning these areas speak of toys appearing spontaneously on shelves and beds, only to disappear moments later. One particularly chilling account comes from a housekeeper who swore she saw a little girl in a charred dress standing at the end of a hallway, her hollow eyes fixed on some unseen point in the distance. Paranormal investigators have conducted extensive studies within the Biltmore's walls, capturing compelling evidence of its supernatural inhabitants. Thermal imaging cameras reveal cold spots concentrated in specific areas, including the pool deck and room 1215. Electromagnetic field, EMF, meters register unusual spikes, particularly near antique furnishings believed to have been present during the hotel's early years. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery came during a live investigation broadcast online. Viewers watching the feed spotted a translucent figure darting across the screen in real time, prompting widespread speculation about the nature of the entities haunting the site, despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation. The historic Biltmore Hotel remains a magnet for tourists eager to experience its blend of glamour and ghostly intrigue. Its rich tapestry of human drama, interwoven with tragedy and loss, creates an atmosphere unlike any other. For those brave enough to spend the night, the promise of encountering Virginia, Fats, or one of the countless other spirits said to roam its halls offers both terror and fascination. Yet, as each new guest steps across its threshold, they must decide whether they are ready to face the darkness that lingers within these walls, or risk becoming another chapter in the Biltmore's haunted legacy. Patterns across haunted Florida, unveiling the threads of terror as we delve deeper into the haunted histories of Florida's most infamous locations. From the mist-shrouded depths of the Devil's Millhopper to the gilded halls of the historic Biltmore Hotel, striking similarities emerge, weaving a thread of eerie consistency through their disparate tales. These patterns are not merely coincidental, rather, they underscore universal themes of human emotion, unresolved trauma, and the enduring power of memory. Whether it's the anguished cries rising from a sinkhole, or the ghostly laughter of children echoing through a luxury hotel, these establishments share a commonality that transcends location and era, binding them together in a spectral sisterhood of sorrow and suspense. One recurring motif is the concept of unfinished business. Whether it's the victims of tragic accidents, betrayed lovers, or those whose lives were cut short by violence, these spirits seem tethered to the earthly realm by grievances left unaddressed. Their presence manifests as restless energy, often communicated through auditory phenomena, cries, whispers, or disembodied voices, that serve as pleas for acknowledgement or closure. This theme resonates across cultures and belief systems, reflecting humanity's innate need to resolve conflict and seek peace, even in death. At the Devil's Millhopper, the anguished calls from the abyss mirror the desperate pleas of Evelyn in room 312 of the Casadaga Hotel, creating a haunting symmetry that transcends individual narratives. Another shared characteristic is the role of architecture and geography in amplifying paranormal activity. Historic structures like the Carlisle Inn and the Biltmore Hotel, with their labyrinthine corridors, thick walls, and hidden alcoves, create environments conducive to isolating individuals and heightening fear. Similarly, natural formations such as the Devil's Millhopper act as metaphors for the psychological barriers erected by those who suffered within their confines, trapping emotions such as anger, despair, and regret. It's no coincidence that many reported hauntings occur in spaces imbued with emotional significance: bedrooms where relationships ended, saloons where violence erupted, or basements where secrets were buried. These settings amplified the emotional resonance of the events that transpired there, creating a feedback loop of spectral energy. Lighting and sensory manipulation also feature prominently in these narratives. Flickering lights, sudden temperature drops, and inexplicable odors are staples of ghostly encounters, designed to disorient and unsettle. Such phenomena strip away the comfort of familiarity, forcing guests to confront the unknown. The use of reflections, a recurring element in stories from the Biltmore and the Casadaga Hotel, adds another layer of psychological tension, as mirrors distort perception and blur the boundary between self and other. This interplay of light and shadow becomes a tool wielded by unseen forces, creating moments of visceral terror that linger long after the initial shock subsides. Finally, the prevalence of historical context cannot be overstated. Each location's haunting is deeply rooted in its unique past, shaped by the socio-cultural milieu of its time. The gold rush brutality embedded in the Del Monte's DNA contrasts sharply with the glamorous yet tragic lives immortalized at the Hollywood Roosevelt. Yet both narratives tap into broader archetypes of ambition, betrayal, and mortality, ensuring their resonance with audiences regardless of personal experience. By drawing on these universal motifs, these haunted locales transform from mere buildings or natural formations into living repositories of collective memory, inviting us to peer into the abyss of our shared humanity. Thus, while each establishment boasts its own distinct flavor of fright, the underlying threads connecting them reveal a tapestry rich with meaning. These patterns remind us that the supernatural is not so much about the entities themselves but the stories they tell, the echoes of lives interrupted, passions extinguished, and truths obscured. As we continue to explore these haunted locales, we find ourselves grappling not only with the specters of the past but with the timeless questions they raise about life, death, and everything in between. In Florida's haunted places, the boundaries between fact and fiction blur, and the ghosts of yesterday linger just beyond reach, waiting to share their tales with those brave enough to listen. Dear reader, as we bring this journey through Florida's most haunted places to a close, I hope you felt the same spine-tingling allure that has drawn countless souls to these spectral sanctuaries. These stories are more than just campfire tales or urban legends. They are fragments of history, stitched together by human emotion, tragedy, and the unrelenting passage of time. Each creaking floorboard, each whispered name, and each fleeting shadow serves as a reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lingers, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. But why stop here? If these accounts have stirred something within you, a spark of curiosity, a shiver of excitement, I urge you to take the next step. Visit one of these haunted places yourself. Walk the same halls where spirits are said to roam, sleep in the rooms where history's echoes reverberate, and let the unknown brush against your senses. Whether you're a skeptic seeking proof or a believer eager to commune with the other side, these establishments offer an unparalleled opportunity to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil. And when you return, share your story. Did you feel the icy touch of a ghostly hand? Hear the faint strains of music in an empty corridor? Or perhaps nothing happened at all, But isn't that silence just as intriguing? Your experiences add to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted locales, ensuring their legacies endure for generations to come. Until then, keep your lanterns lit and your courage steady. The spirits are waiting.